What's going on, everybody? It's ETA Prime back here again. Zotac is finally releasing the Zone handheld console. They've actually posted their product page up on their website, and we've got a ton of new information on this upcoming handheld gaming PC. And this is one that I've actually been super excited about. Earlier this year, I was actually able to go hands-on with an earlier prototype in Taipei at Computex. Personally, I do think it's one of the best looking handhelds on the market. Love the gold accents, got that silver D-pad there. And of course, one of the main claim to fames when it comes to this upcoming handheld is the display. It's actually a 120Hz 7-inch 1080p AMOLED display. I'm a huge fan of that oversaturated, super deep black display, and the one that I was actually able to go hands-on with actually looked really, really good. But again, they have released a lot of new information, some stuff that we really didn't see before, so I kind of wanted to go over it. And I'll leave links in the description to their official website. Rumor has it pre-order is live in certain parts of the world, but I can't find a pre-order page here in the US. As soon as I can, I will leave links in the description. Okay, heading over to the official product page, lots of great information over here. This is going to be running Windows 11, and it's powered by an AMD Ryzen 8000 series APU. It's got a 7-inch 120Hz AMOLED display with up to 800 nits of brightness, 178-degree viewing angle, so yeah, angles on this are going to be really nice. 1080p, 10 points of touch, wide color gamut, it does support HDR. It's 100% DCI-P3 and 150% sRGB. So going over 100% with sRGB means it's going to be a bit oversaturated. I love the look of oversaturated displays, so this is kind of right up my alley. Another cool feature here are the Pro Trigger locks, or the two-stage adjustable triggers. And by the way, these are Hall-based triggers here. So when it's off, we're going to get that full linear throw, great for racing games. When it's on, we've got that hair trigger, awesome for first-person shooters. It's got those full-size Hall-based joysticks and triggers, so we don't have to worry about any kind of dead zones with those joysticks. And you might notice it's got the radial dials around the analog sticks, and this is something I was actually really impressed with checking it out at Computex. These are pretty cool. We haven't seen these before, but I don't know how much I'm going to utilize these. So far, what I've saw with these is adjusting brightness and volume, but hopefully we do get a suite where we can program these to basically do anything we'd like. Dual trackpads built in, and this is something that wasn't functioning on the prototype, so I do not know how they feel. And another thing here with the trackpads, I don't know if they've got any haptics built in like we do with the Steam Deck. Either way, having trackpads on a Windows handheld definitely helps out. And we've got the programmable macro buttons around back. What I tested so far was actually a pretty comfortable experience, and the angles might seem sharp on this, but you don't make contact with those angles. I do like the overall design, and it looks like around back here we're going to get a nice RGB strip. We've also got a built-in kickstand. Dual USB 4 ports, symmetrical layout, clicky D-pad, and I'll tell you, I'm not a huge fan of clicky D-pads, and I'm also not a huge fan of weird, off-kilter shaped D-pads. But the way this felt, even just on the prototype, was pretty promising, but I'll definitely have to get my hands on it, test out some fighting games just to see exactly how it performs. Hopefully lives up to how it felt, but we'll never know until we can really go hands-on. Downward firing stereo speakers and that built-in kickstand, so it flips out from the back. We've got a little overview of the built-in cooling system. Triple heat pipe configuration, 60 aluminum heatsink fins, and the rapid airflow fan system. We've also got a nice little breakdown of all of the buttons, everything up front here, and the lanyard mounting point. I'm a huge fan of lanyards on all of my tech, so having something like this is going to be really awesome. Does support a micro SD card. USB 4 up top, 3.5mm audio jack, and on the bottom we've actually got another USB 4 port, so dual USB 4 on the Zone. Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.2, fingerprint sensor for easy login, and it's got a front camera and mic system. I'm not a huge fan of having cameras on my devices, but if you want to use Hello Windows to log in with facial recognition, you always could with this. One device, one launcher, and the launcher looks pretty simple here, but we should be able to control basically all the aspects on this unit. We'll have to see the software once it's released. They are using their Spectra RGB around back, and it looks like right around that vent there, we get a nice RGB strip. And of course, just like a lot of these companies releasing these handhelds, they are going to be offering a few extra accessories. They've got a carrying case and the docking station. I was actually able to take a look at the docking station. It is made of aluminum, looks pretty sturdy, and that Zone is going to fit right in there. HDMI around back. I don't remember if it had Ethernet or not, but it will charge the device at the same time. And again, we've got a USB 4 port on the bottom and one up top. I mentioned this is going to be powered by a Ryzen 8000 series APU, and for this, we're getting that AMD Ryzen 7 8840U. Got a boost clock up to 5.1, Radeon 780M RDNA 3 graphics, and they state on the website that we can take the TDP up to 28 watts through their software. 16 gigabytes of LPDDR5X running at 7500 megahertz, and they've only announced one SKU so far, so I don't think they're going to be taking it up to 32 gigs. We also get a 512 gigabyte 2280 Gen 4 M.2 SSD, plus it supports a UHS 2 micro SD. A 7-inch 120Hz AMOLED display, supports HDR, up to 800 nits of brightness, love these super bright displays, Hall-based joysticks and triggers, Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.2, a 48.5 watt-hour battery with 65 watt fast charging capabilities, and on their website they state this is coming in at 692 grams, which is a bit on the heavier side when you take a look at the other devices on the market in this form factor with a 7-inch display. For instance, the Steam Deck OLED is coming in at 640 grams, the Asus ROG Ally X 678, and of course the Zone at 692. There's one last thing we need to talk about here, and that's going to be pricing. I have not been able to confirm a price from Zotac on this unit, but from what I can see so far, speculated retail in the US is going to be $799. So that's going to be a big determining factor for people wanting to pick something like this up. So yeah, I'd love to know from you in the comments below. Is this a handheld you'd be interested in? Personally, I do think it's the best looking handheld, and that's really subjective. I just really love the look of this thing. The first thing that came to mind when I saw this at Computex was the Sword of Omens from Thundercats. For some reason, it's just that sharp edge on the bottom there. But yeah, that's exactly the vibe I got from it. And I will tell you that I am kind of an AMOLED fanboy. So the screen on this to me does look really good. I've just always loved those super deep blacks and oversaturation. It's just kind of a personal preference that I have with my devices, especially smaller devices like my Android phone. One of the big reasons I always buy the Galaxy S devices is for the display. To my eye, they just look better, and I'm really excited to get my hands on this to see how it really performs. So let me know in the comments below if this is a handheld you're interested in. Do you hate the design? Do you love the design? Wish it had a bigger battery, lower price point? Let us know in the comments. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. As soon as I can get my hands on one, I will be making a few videos, so definitely keep an eye on the channel. And like always, thanks for watching.